Hey, welcome back to another exciting episode of Gil Skillz. Today, we're going to amp it up. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to micro scrap this Radio Shack 100-watt amplifier. Hey guys, as usual, if you like what you see, please subscribe, comment, throw in a like. It would really mean the world to me. It really would. It would help the channel as well. It would be great to see you around more as well. Talking to you right there. All right, so essentially we've got this amplifier, this very heavy 100-watt amplifier from Radio Shack. We're going to take this apart today. The first thing we always do is we snip the cord. And we're going to snip the end of the plug real quick here. We've got the plug, which has the brass. And we've also got the number 2 insulated wire here as well. So we're going to go ahead and start a pile and continue. Boom! Boom! Shakalaka! Let's take some of this tape off, covering up some of the screws here. We've got a few screws here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The crap ton of screws. And there's some screws on the sides as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of these screws off and see if we can get the outer shell off so you can see the inner goodness inside. Yayos! We got this metal shell here. I'll go ahead and set this aside. I just wanted to show you guys what this looked like on the inside before I continued. Very interesting indeed. Looks like we got a low-grade board here. We got a couple of low-grade boards. 1, 2, 3. We've got some components here that might have some brass on the inside of it with some silver contacts. We've also got this huge extruded aluminum heat sink, which I will be definitely taking off the board. As I suspected, there's going to be a decent amount of wire in here, and not one, but 2 transformers or copper bearing motors, whichever you prefer to call them. This is amazing right here. This one here looks like the copper is going to be fairly easy to get out of. So I'm going to go ahead and continue and take this apart, and we'll see how it goes. So this is the low-grade board that I was telling you about earlier that has some brass components in here. It might have also some silver contacts in there as well for the microphone header jacks that go in there. Not a bad looking piece. I'll probably disassemble this further later on. Probably not in the video. Not bad so far. There we go. Here's another piece here that might have some brass components on the inside of these microphone jacks here. Otherwise, this is pretty much a low-grade board. There might be some silver contacts in here as well. Not 100% sure, but definitely a low-grade board for sure. Notice we got a few more screws over here. We might be able to actually take this back cover right off, giving you guys a little bit more visibility. So let's see if I can do that for you. Looks like we got another metal component here, or a plastic piece that comes off. Go ahead and get that off. I know this is probably nitpicky to some scrappers, but I do like to make sure that my metal is as clean as humanly possible for my scrapyard. My scrapyard certainly does appreciate it. I like to keep that reputation strong, you know, so that I get the best possible rates, and they have my best interests at heart. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, scrapyards don't have your best interests at heart. They want to give you the lowest possible dollar. Well, That's true to a certain degree. You know, they're out to make money just like everybody else in business. But in the end, if you treat them nice, they're going to end up treating you nice and give you the most for your money in terms of what you bring to them. For example, if I've given them a bunch of low-grade boards and they see a mid-grade board in there, they've actually pointed that out to me so that I could take it out and put it with my mid-grade boards and get more money for it. So reputations between you and your scrap yards are vital and important. You don't want to screw them over because they in turn would care less whether or not you're getting the most for your money. I hope that makes sense. We got another piece here. It's pretty clean. I could probably take a few more pieces off. Let me take that screw off here. Put that over here. That's pretty good. Let me go ahead and put that with the other metal. And we'll go ahead and continue. This is a plastic piece here, so it's also got a fuse in it. There might be a few brass bits in it. I'll go ahead and put this with the other boards. I'm going to cut all the wires and I'm going to take all the screws out. We'll get that other board out. So we're getting a little bit at a time here. There we go, perfect. So as I suspected, another low-grade board. We've definitely got a few interesting little components here, but other than that, it is a very low-grade board. Pretty straightforward stuff. Yayos! Just going to set this aside for now. And guys, at the end of the video, I will show you a complete tally of everything, rest assured. So the next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take this front cover off right here, this front piece. There's a couple of screws on each side here holding it in place. Let me go ahead and get those off. All right, we got some brass bits here. I think these are brass. Yep, these are probably nickel or zinc plated brass connectors. So I'll go ahead and set those aside and I'll take those off at a later time. We get another component here that has brass in it. Might also have some silver contacts in it as well. And we've got even more screws. This is the front cover, guys, just so you can see here. This is the front cover. We've got some more screws in place here, so I'm going to go ahead and take some of those off, see if we can take this apart. These pieces here, they're aluminum. That's awesome. Got some nice aluminum pieces here. Boy, those buttons really do not want to come off. There we go. You know, the nice part about this micro scrapping excursion here is there's very little plastic waste. I'm loving that. So these buttons are all plastic. This button here is plastic once I get that off. All right, plastic. So there's another metal piece. This is a pretty thick piece of steel, man. Pretty darn thick and pretty heavy. All right, I'm going to take these nuts out and get these pieces out so I can get this low-grade board off as well. There's another low-grade board with the knobs. I'm not sure if there's anything special in these knobs. You know, like I said, the more experienced scrappers can tell me if there's anything worth getting out of here. But other than that, as far as I'm concerned, this is a low-grade board. All right, we got this little low-grade board piece right here to get out. Got that out. Just a couple of LEDs on that. All we got left is this gauge. Let me go ahead and take that off. Got the gauge out of there. Looks like there might be some sort of fuse or whatnot in there. All right, clean steel, clean metal, clean light iron. All right, we don't have too much more left. We've got a little board on the inside here, and we've got this huge aluminum piece here I'm gonna take off, and then of course we got the two transformers. Really, all that's left is to do a whole lot of unscrewing. I'm gonna save you the trouble of watching it in real time. You can watch a time-lapse version of me doing all that, and hopefully at the very end here, we'll have our final tally of everything that we've gotten from this amplifier. All right. All right, we had these side pieces here that were on the side of this huge aluminum heatsink. So those are taken off, those are steel. All right, let me take this little board off, and I'm gonna try to get those screws out on the inside. We want this aluminum piece to be clean. It is nice and heavy too. That is a nice piece of extruded aluminum. That is awesome. More steel on the back side, screws. These pieces here, most of these pieces here have copper in them, if I'm not mistaken. And if you want to take the time to extract the copper out of them or peel the copper off, certainly more than welcome to do so. I'll go ahead and set those aside as well. We've got this beautiful piece of aluminum, extruded aluminum here. It is very heavy. Man, that is nice. That is a nice hefty weight. Now, if only the aluminum prices would go up, right? Ding! Let's go ahead and get these transformers out of here. All right, here's one. And if you look in there, we should be able to just simply take the tape off, and we might be able to easily remove all of that copper from the inside. And transformer number 2. This is great. All right. So in order to make this as clean as possible, those rubber pieces can come out. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out now. Give me just a moment here, guys, so I can break all this stuff down so you can see exactly what we found in this amplifier today. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen, the bounty of our micro scrapping efforts, and here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start off with the wire. As you can see here, we've got a decent amount of wire, which is totally awesome. Number 2 insulated, along with some thinner braided wire as well. We've got some brass pieces right here. We got the plug and some brass components here. I'm just impressed by how little plastic there was in this micro scrapping excursion. This is the entire bounty of plastic that was in this, which was amazing. We've got a really nice aluminum heatsink along with 2 aluminum handles, which is totally awesome. We've got a bunch of low-grade boards, some of them with some brass that I can take out at a later time, maybe even with some silver contacts. We've also got some copper-bearing components here. We've got also 2 transformers here for copper-bearing motors, depending on how you want to describe those. We've got all of our screws. Remember, no metal left behind here on the Gil Skillz channel. And then finally, all the steel that we have gotten out of this light iron steel ferrous material. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. If you like what you see, please comment, like, share, subscribe, do all of that fun stuff. And until the next time, have a scrap happy day.